Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, Puneet.
Ma'am, you were talking about an evaluation. So, what is the date that you have in mind right now?
Actually, I will plan this once I get some instructions from DOA or something like that, that exactly when the MST is going to happen.
Okay, ma'am.
So within a few days, probably I'll get that information. Means I'm not sure, but if that happens, so then I'll plan.
Okay.
Because if MST is going to be too early, like just the next to next week beginning, then we may not have this evaluation. But if MST is going to be postponed even more than 2 weeks from now, so then we can have that. But I'll decide it within the big at the beginning of the next week, or the coming week. I'll let you know by Monday or Tuesday.
Okay.
That will be most probably in the form of a kind of a quiz or something like that. It
Okay.
might not be any descriptive assignment. I've not thought anything about it, but that's the way, just the rough idea I have about it.
Okay.
Okay, so let's just wait for more students to join. I don't know what we were doing last time. We finished with the program of that traffic flow, right? LWR numerical
Yes,
solution.
ma'am.
Yeah, so we finished with that. And let me see what I have for us today. Okay, so firstly, we should do this project distribution, and then we'll start with the lab, because then you can continue your program and other things. And in the meanwhile, rest of the people join. We'll wait for 2 3 more minutes if anybody else is joining. We can have any questions if you want to ask, or anything, any general discussion. Okay, so we can start discussing. I think rest of the people will join soon. So what we had for this, okay, just give me 1 minute. I'll connect my pen. Okay, so we already finished with this traffic flow LWR solution, and actually last time I included another part to it. This was also a part of the experiment, the microscopic one, but this time I'm not including it as a proper experiment, as a proper lab experiment, because there's nothing much to do in that, because as I explained you, the model which we get in microscopic is basically a system of very large number of 100, or you can say 1,000, you can say ordinary differential equations, and that two are coupled, and sometimes they are non-linear also, sometimes they are linear. So non-linear, linearity, non-linearity, that factor comes later, but in general we are just we struggle at this point. Therefore we don't attempt solving it that way in lab, because it's not going to be that easy for us. There are specialized software which do that, and particularly the microscopic models are better captured with simulations, right? They have the simulation models are there which work better for them. So rather than we doing the coding or programming of this kind of system, it would be better to rely on some software. There are softwares available, but they are not freeware, because the people who are working in this area as a research, so they have developed over the time their simulators and other things. So they are using those simulators to conduct the experiments and conclude the conclusions. So I'll be sharing the link on our LMS. I'll be, or in the WhatsApp group, I'll be sharing a link. So that's a simulator of available online. It's been developed by one of the you can say researcher, very famous researcher who works in this area. So there you can experiment with changing the parameters and look at the behavior, how the traffic dynamics are changing. That's just going to be a fun experiment, nothing to derive out of it. And the other thing which we can do is I can give you the data, like I can give you speeds, or I can give you densities, and then you can compute the flow rate yourself, because if I'll give you densities at certain points or different times, you can compute speeds using speed density relationships. So the similar speed density relationships are here, like the Greenshields one which we discussed there. So you get V and rho, and you can compute Q with the formula rho and V. And so in that sense, you just plot it. So I didn't think that would be a very relevant experiment. It's just plotting two vectors. Given this vector, all of you can plot this. So that's why I'm not exclusively considering it as one of the lab problems, because that is what you can do. And बाकी जो छोटे छोटे प्रॉब्लम्स हैं वो आप ऐसे ही कर सकते हो without the help of MATLAB. They are like doable just with the little calculations by hand. So that's why for microscopic, we are not including any specific lab experiment. We are done with the traffic flow experiment, and that was for this LWR model, right? So today we'll be starting with something else. We'll be doing the next thing, which is random number generation. And this is something has to do with the probabilistic model, the stochastic models. क्लास में हमने अभी स्टार्ट नहीं किया है, बट द एक्सपेरिमेंट इज टू सिंपल, द कमांड्स आर टू सिंपल, यू कैन learn and make an code in a, like it will be finished very quickly. So that's why we can do it even with we have not studied the theory of it. I can explain you briefly what it is. So far we know we have dealt with the deterministic models, and from this point onwards, it's not all, but we can shift to this class of models, which is stochastic models. So there are stochastic processes which includes probabilities as their parameters, that the value of this to this happening, value of anything happening is not fixed, or it happens by chance. Wait a minute. uh, Yeah, what I was explaining that it includes probabilities. So whenever probabilities are involved, so there has to be entirely a different way of looking at the things. So we run simulations in that case. Means obviously simulations is a general word, that is also applicable for deterministic model, but for stochastic it is particularly the Monte Carlo simulation is a particular simulation which does that. So we'll have a proper experiment on this, but today before Monte Carlo simulation, we have to have an experiment on random number generation. So how many of you have studied this earlier in your course on probability and stochastic processes? I don't know whether you have any idea about it.
Yes, ma'am, we did it in Python. We tried. No, we tried it in R last year, last
Okay.
semester.
So you already have generated random numbers in a different place.
Yes, ma'am.
So what did you do there? How did you generate the random numbers?
Ma'am,
मैम
not,
runif command होती थी मैम.
I don't exactly. Yeah, I don't exactly remember.
Okay,
There
there's
was.
a direct command to do that.
Yes ma'am.
Yeah, so in MATLAB also actually there is a direct command to do that. But you should be knowing how the direct commands are working, right? ये command का मतलब obviously somebody has already worked on the back side of it, means some subroutine is there, some algorithm is there which is running at the back end when you just call a command. So a command is just a function which is available in the library so that you can use it directly. But we know that some algorithm at least is there which is being followed there. Like we compute inverse of a matrix in MATLAB, or whatever be your underlying programming software. So you use the command of inverse of a matrix, right? But we know that to write it this way, there has to be some algorithm running. So like Gauss-Jordan or Gauss elimination, those are the techniques which are used to compute the inverse of a matrices. So they are already programmed inbuilt, functions are there, so we can use them. So same is here, we do have the inbuilt command. In fact, for this purpose, for this part, when we'll be doing the Monte Carlo simulation, it's a particular type of simulation which we'll be talking about in detail when we will look at it. So obviously जब इसमें हम random numbers use करेंगे, we will be using the direct commands of MATLAB. Why so? Because uh, that is being using the most recent algorithm, you can say, or the it's very robust and it has been updated over time. Because हमेशा हर चीज हम ऐसे ही पढ़ाते हैं, राइट? हम आपको सबसे पहले बेसिक पढ़ाते हैं कि फर्स्ट टाइम जिसने ये सोचा था उसने क्या सोचा होगा, क्या अल्गोरिदम सोचा होगा. उसके बाद ओवर द टाइम, ओवर द इयर्स थिंग्स गेट डेवलप्ड और हमारे पास कमांड्स की फॉर्म में रीसेंट चीजें अवेलेबल होती हैं. तो ऑब्वियसली दैट आर बेटर देन द फर्स्ट वंस एंड दैट्स व्हाई दे हैव बीन रिपीटेडली यूज्ड. तो उनकी एफिशिएंसी बेटर होगी. अब रैंडम नंबर्स बेटर हैं कि नहीं बेटर हैं, that's itself is a question in itself. But if I ask you, so actual में we call them pseudo random. ये हम theory में पढ़ेंगे बहुत डिटेल में. I'm just giving you a rough idea of it. Pseudo random, why we call them pseudo random? Anybody knows the meaning of the word pseudo?
Ma'am, it's like basically we can't call them random because we have some or the other algorithm with which they're generated on the back end.
Yeah, that's true, because algorithm is running there. So there's a famous quote by John von Neumann. He said that anybody who is trying to generate random numbers by deterministic means a formula which is having a definite answer. Like you give me 2 plus 2, it's always going to be 4 no matter what happens on earth, right? It's always going to be 4. So this is a deterministic formula. So anything which you are using a formula for and it is always going to give you a fixed answer, how that thing can be random. But still we do generate the random numbers using algorithms. Now the algorithms have been designed in a way that they have been improvised over time so that they should be giving you the numbers as random as possible, right? So therefore हर random number generator algorithm की अपनी एक efficiency है, उसकी capability है. तो जल्दी रैंडम नंबर्स अगर रिपीट होने शुरू हो जाएंगे, सो विल डिस्कार्ड दैट बिकॉज वी नीड इट ओवर अ द पैटर्न्स शुड नॉट बी देयर. जितना उसमें रैंडमनेस होगी, जितना उसमें स्टोकेस्टिसिटी प्रेजेंट होगी, क्योटिक होगा, जितना पैटर्न नहीं होगा मीन्स उसमें कोई, तो दैट विल बी बेटर फॉर अस बिकॉज हमें ट्रूली एक रैंडम जो चीजें चाहिए. तो ऐसा नहीं है पैटर्न्स नेचर में एग्जिस्ट नहीं करते हैं. एनीवेज दैट इज अ longer debate, let's not go to that. But that's what the meaning of pseudo is, that because it's not truly random, so the other counterpart of it is true random numbers or truly random numbers. So these are the real ones. Real ones means, okay, how many people we have here? So we have the 11 students here. So if I ask any one of you, even all of you, just give me a number quickly, right? So just unmute yourself and give me the numbers. Any number which comes to your mind.
13.
9.
9.
7.
36. 36.
36.
4.
4.
8.
8.
7.
हो गया.
6.
29.
29.
2.
2. Okay. So anybody else, मतलब जो भी है, because I didn't give you an interval, you can think of any number.
57.
57.
100.
Yeah, so that's okay. Thanks for that. That's how we usually, that's one way of generating the random numbers, right? These are the truly random numbers. Like when I asked you, just give me a random number, you were not computing the random number in your mind using some formula. Well, were you doing that? Anybody of you was thinking about something?
No, ma'am, was just trying to give a number so that they doesn't develop any pattern. That's
Yeah, so even that should not be done. It should be random, right? You should not even look at it. Means you just don't care about what happened in the past. You could just like somebody gave me 7, I said it's repeating, but that's okay. It's random. It can appear again. I'm not saying it should not appear again, but it's something like the pattern should not appear again. Similarly, the generator should not have any memory. It should not know that whether it is happening, it has happened in the past or not. It should be random. Like nobody knows somebody else's answer, so just you're trying to be as random as possible. So this is the one way of generating 2D random numbers. The other way of generating is you roll a dice, right? So this is called one process. These are all mechanical processes because we are not involving any computer or any algorithm in this. So just you roll a dice and you just write the number which comes on the face of it. So it can be 1, then 4, then 6, then 3, then 6, then 4, then 2, whatever. So obviously they will be from 1 to 6, so they will be lying in a range because we know the dice is like that, but they will be random. The pattern will be random in nature. So these are the ways, but the computer has to be given a formula because we know the computer is a machine which works on the base of an algorithm. That's why we have developed the standard algorithms over time which can generate the random numbers. So we are going to talk about one such random number generator and we call it PRNG. So PRNG stands for, this is pseudo random number generator. Okay, so there are many ways, many different algorithms existing. There is this mid square method. ये हम theory में वैसे डिटेल में पढ़ेंगे, इसलिए मैं यहाँ पे बिल्कुल just इसको टच ही कर रही हूँ. I'm just giving you the names of it, but what exactly is this? We will not be discussing in detail. So mid square method में I can just give you an example. So you just take any number, say 1, say 101, right? You square it. What is the square of it? It's a square of 101. Please, anybody tell. मेरा मन नहीं है.
1001.
10.
201.
201. So what you can do is then, sorry, this was a 3-digit number. So you start with a 2-digit number roughly. Okay, let's start with 12, right? So the square of that is 144. Okay, so then it becomes this. Then you attach a 0 here, or okay, don't do that because हमने बहुत छोटे number से start किया है. So just you capture the middle one. So that is 4. And then you take 4 square is 16. So again, अब यहाँ पे 2 ही हैं. So you take the middle one. So 1 square is 1. So this was not a good seed to start from, because you know what it is doing. Once you get 1, you'll keep on getting 1 because 1 square is 1. So उसमें स्टेग्नेशन आ जाएगा, वो वहीं पे रुक जाएगा. सो सिमिलरली मींस ये मैंने बहुत ही रफ वे में एग्जांपल दिया है. एक्चुअल में it has some particular rules to follow. You have to have some assumptions on the digit, the number of the digits you are going to have on the number. So it has variations. ये 4 digits के लिए भी है, 3 digits के लिए भी है. So we'll study that in detail, but that is a rough way of doing it. So this is called seed. जो आप सबसे पहले नंबर से स्टार्ट करते हो, and then pattern keeps on repeat, means it goes iteratively computing the numbers. So the first number which you give is the seed number. So that is mid square method. So it was the initial method, but it had the limitations just like that. Similarly, कई बार center में 0 आ जाता है, तो 0 square obviously gets repeated. So the numbers very quickly decrease in magnitude. That was one of the limitations. And another technique we have is this linear congruential generator. So this is the one which we are going to take up in the lab, right? So I'll show you, I'll share this screen with you because ये वहीं से clear हो जाएगा exactly what we have to take up. Let me just take, oh wait a minute, maybe I've closed that file. Just a minute. Just give me 1 minute. Where is that? Here is that. Okay, so I just hope you can see this screen. यहाँ पे experiment 4 लिखा है. ये पुरानी file है last year की, so just ignore that. I'll share the fresh file with you. But this is just for understanding. इसमें तो मैंने दोनों को combine किया था, pseudo random number generator and Monte Carlo simulation को. So let's see, maybe हम आज Monte Carlo simulations तो नहीं कर पाएंगे because that's entirely a new thing. Will not take up that today because आज हमें projects वाला distribution भी करना है. So we'll be just focusing on the first question of it, right? So you are given this. This is called a linear congruential generator. Congruential means because there's a congruence relation here. So all of you have read about this congruence relation. Any idea?
ट्रायंगल्स में पढ़ा था. ट्रायंगल्स में पढ़ा था.
Yeah, so it's something like 5 is congruent to 2 mod 3. So you know what that means? This is 5. 5 when divided by 3 gives you remainder 2. जो mod 3 लिखा होता है, this is always the divisor. This is always the number. So this is our quotient and this is always the remainder, right? So whatever number, like 20 is something mod 3. So that should be 2, right? 20 when you divide by 3 will leave you the remainder 2. Is that understandable? Is it clear? So that's the meaning of this congruence relationship, that we are just interested in computing the remainders because Now if I'll do 20 square, then what do you expect? Sorry. Tell me this.
हम आंसर तो 1
One.
होगा.
1 mod 3.
1.
Yeah, because it will be 4 first and then it will be 1.
One.
So that's the benefit of having this kind of relationship. इसके बहुत सारे applications हैं. I can tell you very interesting examples. So just like we did square this sides, similarly you can have cube. Yeah, quickly. What should be the cube?
8. Ma'am, 2.
2 again, because yeah, it's 20 cube is 20 into 20 square, so it's 2 into 1, that is 2, right? So I will ask you, wait a minute. It's a fun exercise. Don't panic if you cannot tell me this. Can anybody tell me this? 20 raised to power 41. एक्चुअल में नहीं कैलकुलेट, मतलब ज्यादा इतना नहीं सोचना है, ट्रिक लगाना है थोड़ा सा.
Ma'am, 2.
Yes, this is 2. How did you get that?
Ma'am, वो power देके क्या? Like, if it's a वो.
Odd
Pow-
power and even power.
Yeah, एक्चुअल में क्या होता है, ऐसे ना क्वेश्चंस लाइक मैथ्स के कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जाम्स में बहुत आते हैं, दैट व्हाट विल बी 7 raised to power 2998 mod 15, right? It's something like that. So you know practically ये कौन compute करेगा? So this is the way they are done. So हम 7 की powers raise करते रहते हैं, mod 15 मतलब 15 से डिवाइड करते हैं. जैसे 7 का स्क्वायर आएगा 49, राइट? सो 49 mod 15, दैट विल बी 4. ओके, एंड सिमिलरली सो आपको ये तब तक करते रहना है, मींस क्योंकि ये छोटी पावर्स है ना, तो आप कर सकते हो, इतनी तो कैलकुलेशन कर सकते हो. लाइक आई विल डू 7 क्यूब, सो दैट विल बी 28 mod 15 एंड सो दैट विल बी -2, सो दैट इज मींस नेगेटिव भी लिख सकते हो. सो दिस वे यू कैन कंप्यूट दैट. तो आइडिया क्या होता है, आपको 1 लेके आना है या -1 लेके आना है. वंस यू गेट दैट, सो फ्रॉम हियर फ्रॉम देयर यू कैन गेट दैट, बिकॉज ये 41 विल बी 2 into 20 plus 1. सो स्क्वायर की जितनी मर्जी पावर हो, मल्टीप्लाई फैक्टर हो, दैट विल गिव यू 1, और एक एक्स्ट्रा पावर है, सो दैट इज 2. सो यू कैन कंप्यूट दिस काइंड ऑफ थिंग्स. सो ये कॉन्ग्रुएंस रिलेशंस बहुत ज्यादा यूज होते हैं कोडिंग थ्योरी में, क्रिप्टोग्राफी में. सो it's the base of the coding theory. So it's all field theory, all linear algebra. So it's combination of this combinatorics. This comes in combinatorics. You'll study it as one of the course in your this basket, computational number theory. So it starts from this point only. So anyways, I will explain. Yes.
मैम अगर ये mod 15 वाला में कैसे करते हैं हम? लाइक यहाँ पे हमने 2 into 20 का 1 कैसे ले लिया?
हाँ, यहाँ पे नहीं, ये तो मैं इसी एग्जांपल के लिए बता रही थी. एक मिनट. हेलो, या ईशांगी, what you were asking?
मैम how did we like बिना compute किए 2 into 20 को हमने 1 कैसे ले लिया?
नहीं, 2 into 20 को 1 नहीं लिया, ये है 41 को मैंने लिखा 22 into 20, ये 40 बन गया ना. 2 into 20 plus 1, 41 को मैंने ऐसे ब्रेक किया है, 40 plus 1. So this is 20 raised to power 40 into 20 raised to power 1. 20 raised to power 40 will be congruent to 1 mod 3, क्योंकि 20 की जब जब इवन पावर आ रही है, क्योंकि स्क्वायर पे 1 हो गया ना, राइट? तो थर्ड पावर उसकी 2 होगी, फिर फोर्थ पावर फिर से 1 होगी. बिकॉज मॉड 3 है तो 2 ही रिमाइंडर्स पॉसिबल है, या आपका रिमाइंडर जो है 1 आएगा, या आपका रिमाइंडर जो है 2 आएगा. बिकॉज ये इवन नंबर है तो ये 3 से डिविजिबल तो होगा नहीं इसकी कोई भी पावर, तो 0 रिमाइंडर तो कहीं पे भी नहीं आएगा आपके पास, तो 2 ही रिमाइंडर्स आएंगे, या 1 रिमाइंडर आएगा या 2 रिमाइंडर आएगा। सो हमें पता है कि इवन पावर्स पे 1 आ रहा है, so this will be congruent to 1. This will be 20 raised to power 1, which is further 20 raised to power 1 is congruent to 2 mod 3. तो ऐसे इसको ब्रेक किया जाता है कि हम ऐसी पावर बस उसको ले आते हैं ऐसी पावर पे जिसका हमें आंसर पता हो स्मॉल पावर का। जैसे जिस पे 1 बना है तो उससे हम उसको कर लेते हैं, जैसे 2 स्क्वायर पे 1 बना था तो मैंने इसको ऐसे ब्रेक कर लिया कि 2 into something plus some small power should be there, and then you can deduce your calculation like that. जैसे मॉड 15 में भी हम इसको तब तक करेंगे जब तक हमारे पास 1 आ जाए, या कोई और बहुत, ये 1 आना हमेशा जरूरी नहीं होता है, आई एम टेलिंग यू दिस बिकॉज इट रियली डिपेंड्स ऑन द नंबर्स। तो 1 नहीं, बट कई बार कोई और छोटा नंबर आ जाए जिसको हम इजीली हैंडल कर पाए, तो देन वी कैन वर्क विद दोज काइंड ऑफ क्वेश्चंस। बट यूजुअली जो कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जाम्स में आते हैं ना उनमें 1 आता ही है, बिकॉज द अपीयरेंस ऑफ 1 मेक्स इट क्वाइट इजी टू डू, बिकॉज एक बार 1 आ गया उसके बाद अब इसकी जितनी मर्जी रेज टू पावर कर लो 20 रेज टू पावर 2 की, इट विल रिमेन 1। 1 आ जाए या -1 आ जाए, जैसे 2 mod 3 को आई कुड ऑल्सो राइट -1 mod 3, आप वो भी लिख सकते हो, सो उसमें वो एडजस्ट हो जाता है। इज दैट फाइन?
Yes, ma'am.
या वैसे हमें कुछ नहीं करना है ये एक्स्ट्रा ही था, ये सिर्फ मैं आपको कॉन्ग्रेंस का मतलब समझा रही थी कि कॉन्ग्रेंस रिलेशनशिप ऐसे यूज होते हैं, ऐसे लिखे जाते हैं। तो हमारा जो ये रैंडम नंबर जनरेटर है LCG, लीनियर कॉन्ग्रेंस जनरेटर, उसको हम इस फॉर्म में यूज कर रहे हैं एज इफ यू सी योर बिकॉज इट विल बी इन द फॉर्म ऑफ एन आइटरेटिव फॉर्मूला। तो आइटरेटिव फॉर्मूला हमें पता है, हम ऐसे डिफाइन करते हैं कि स्टार्टिंग में हम उसको एक सीड सप्लाई करेंगे, so seed will be the random number, means seed will be a number given by us. us means जब हम algorithm खुद लगा रहे हैं तो हमें देना पड़ेगा, बट अगर हम डायरेक्ट कमांड मैटलैब का यूज कर रहे हैं या कहीं पे भी किसी सॉफ्टवेयर में कर रहे हैं, तो वो सीड्स भी, सीड जनरेशन के भी उनके अपने एल्गोरिदम्स होते हैं। जैसे C++ में क्या करता है, यू हैव टू सेट एवरी टाइम, I forgot the particular term is there, एक कमांड होता है उसको टाइम को 0 पे सेट करना पड़ता है हर बारी आपको, अदरवाइज एवरी टाइम इट विल जनरेट अ डिफरेंट सीड। तो जब अलग सीड जनरेट होता है तो डिस्ट्रीब्यूशंस के पैटर्न्स बदल जाते हैं, इट हैज कनेक्शन विद द यूनिफॉर्म डिस्ट्रीब्यूशंस एंड अदर थिंग्स, बट राइट नाउ विल नॉट गो इनटू डिटेल्स। वो जब हम मॉन्टे कार्लो सिमुलेशन करेंगे, डायरेक्ट कमांड स्टडी करेंगे, देन आई विल टेल यू मोर अबाउट डिस्ट्रीब्यूशंस। But abhi ke liye it's just any number we can give, or the direct command will itself take it from the algorithm. So once you give the seed, so call it say x1, this is the first number. Theoretically हम उसको x0 लिखते हैं, but you know MATLAB में first index starts from 1, so let's write it x1. x1 दे दिया, अब x2 x1 से compute होगा, फिर x3 x2 से compute होगा, so that's how we know the iterative techniques work. So your xn plus 1 is a function of xn, right? So this is assumed to be for linear congruential generator. This is a xn plus b mod m. ये सिंप्लिसिटी के लिए इक्वल्स लिखा जाता है, बट बेसिकली इट्स कॉन्ग्रेंस रिलेशनशिप, बिकॉज हमें उसके अदरवाइज वो तो मैग्नीट्यूड से बहुत बड़ा होता जाएगा ना। देखो आप अगर मल्टीप्लाई करोगे उसको किसी नंबर से, हर बारी एक नंबर है जो मल्टीप्लायर आ रहा है, so magnitudes will keep on becoming very very high, so we have to keep the magnitudes in the limit, so we just work with their remainders. So that's why you have to mod with certain number. So you will be given a, b and m, ये आपका इनपुट हो जाएगा, a b और m हम उनको दे देंगे, और बस अलग अलग a b m दोगे तो अलग लीनियर कॉन्ग्रेंशियल जनरेटर आपके बन जाएंगे। सो दिस वे यू जस्ट, अब कितने भी रैंडम नंबर जनरेट कर लो, 1000 कर लो, जितने मर्जी कर लो, आपको जितने इससे चाहिए, यू जस्ट हैव टू इंसर्ट अ फॉर लूप फॉर दैट एंड गेट एज मेनी एज नंबर्स यू वांट। उसके बाद फिर आप उनका एनालिसिस कर सकते हो दैट वेदर देयर आर रिपीटिंग, क्या हो रहा है कि क्या कुछ स्टेज के बाद जाके रेपिटेशन हो रही है कि नहीं हो रही है, राइट? सो like you will see in some of the examples the pattern is like okay 1 2 4 3 then again 1 2 4 3 then again 1 2 4 3. So this is called the period. So the period is called 4. We will have the proper theoretical definition जब हम क्लास में पढ़ेंगे, अभी के लिए आप सिर्फ समझ लो इसको। Period means the length of the distinct interval, means if you count that numbers in a distinct, which are distinct, and after that they start repeating, so that is called the period of that generator. So period is not just for this linear congruential generator, it's a general term, can be used for any random number generator algorithm. So what would you like to have, the period to be high or small?
Hi.
Obviously we'll require it to be high, so it should be as high as possible, because we want the numbers to be non-repeating and as random as possible. They should not be patterns. So that's where the researchers are working on, right? So people who are doing research on this this combinatorics and developing of new algorithms, the number theorists, basically they are number theorists, those who have knowledge of all these prime numbers, and there is whole lot of number theory used in that for cryptography and other things. So all those theories are applied to develop the better random number generator algorithms. और फिर जैसे market में we get a new random number generator algorithm, so it gets purchased by the different firms like Mathematica, Wolfram, who are having MATLAB, or they construct their own algorithms or whatever. So that's how the process goes on. So right now जो MATLAB में direct command work कर रहा है, that's a very complex random number generator algorithm. हम उसका detail understanding पे नहीं जाएंगे. So that's why we are just focusing on this linear one. So I'm just giving you this as an exercise. I'm sharing the file with you. Wait a minute. Yeah, this is here. So just focus on the first question. As I said, do not do the second question. Monte Carlo simulation abhi humne nahi padha hai. So just do this. So you can easily write a program for that. It's just a formula, right? So there are these 4 parts to it. A, B, M are given as I told you. A, M, B. इसको linear इसलिए बोलते हैं क्योंकि इसमें x कोई powers involved नहीं है, right? X का square नहीं है, x का cube नहीं है, square root नहीं है, कोई किसी भी और तरह का function नहीं है, because we look at it, it's like ax plus b. So that's a linear kind of expression. That's why it's called linear generator. Yeah. So and there are 2 things which you need to do. You have to generate the random numbers in this interval 0 to m minus 1. M is this number which you have to do the mod for. Yeah. So can anybody tell me why this will be true? Mod m जब हम करेंगे means जिससे आपको divide करना है,
हम टोटल रिमाइंडर्स हमारे जो नंबर होता है उससे 0 से लेके उससे n-1 तक होते हैं, like 3 will have 0 1 2 as remainders.
Yeah, that's true, right? So that's the answer. जितना हम m लेंगे उतना ही. तो obviously अगर हम m बहुत छोटा ले लेंगे, say 5, तो 5 तक 4 ही रिमाइंडर पॉसिबल हैं, 0 1 2 3 sorry 5 रिमाइंडर्स पॉसिबल हैं, 0 1 2 3 4. So that means maximum numbers जो हैं 5 ही प्रोड्यूस हो पाएंगे, वो रिपीट होते रहेंगे, या फिर पैटर्न नहीं भी बनेगा, but still the random numbers will be 4 only. So this is that's why the first condition, your m should be very high. तो जो small m है वो हम बहुत छोटा नहीं लेते हैं कभी भी. ये तो आपको समझाने के लिए मैंने theoretically छोटा एग्जांपल लिया था, but actually m is very large, so that because if m is small, then you can understand the chances of random numbers repeating and getting periodic is very high. So that's why m is large. As you can see here, m is 2 raised to power 5. Even that I'll not consider a very large m, but yeah, beginning में examples कर रहे हो, so that's why we are taking up this m. But otherwise the modern algorithms take really very high values of this small m. Like you can see here in C part, 2 raised to power 17 minus 1, and this is 2 raised to power 16. So just go ahead with this. x1 seed को denote कर रहा है. So पहले part में I have given you a, b and m, और 2 different seeds दिए हैं. एक x1 1 seed है और एक x1 2. So this example will help you to understand the effect of change of seed. कि अगर आप seed change करते हो तो क्या change होता है. And yeah, I was mentioning about this point. You have to have, wait a minute, I'll underline this one. आपको ये develop करना है. For you have to find a formula. Like you should not be displaying the numbers and then start counting and tell me the period of that. you should have inbuilt command in your code which computes the period of your random number generator algorithm, and give a general command which is true for any kind of algorithm, any kind of generator. Like it should not be depending on A, B, and M. It should be general, that even if I change the value of A, B, M, it should give me the value of the period. So include that part in your code. So compute the periods in each case, like इस seed को लेने से क्या period आता है, इस seed को लेने से. So these all will come into your input parameters category, A, B, M, and your seed value. So x1 है आपके पास, you keep on generating x2, x3, and so on. So yeah, capital N for the time being you can take 100 random numbers से हम generate कर रहे हैं, right? आप कितने भी कर लो वो आपके ऊपर है, because it's not going to be computationally difficult. It's going to be computed in fraction of seconds. So you can take even n larger than that. But just for an example, you can have the number of random numbers to be generated is 100. So you do all these parts. B part में बस एक fixed seed दिया है. C part में भी मैंने 2 seeds दिए हैं आपको. एक तो है ये वाला 37911. एक है any other seed other than 37911. ये not equal to लिखने का मतलब है कुछ भी ले लो. It's your choice. तो आप कुछ भी मतलब कुछ भी यहाँ पे लेके देखो, and then you see how the algorithm works. And D part में भी so C में you have to explain the output, so that means something special should be happening there. और D में you will be computing the period again. So period आपको हर केस में ही compute करना है rather. So do this question, and yeah, in the meanwhile, if you will have any doubts, then you can ask me. So should we do the project distribution first, or will you do this program first?
Ma'am, let's do the project distribution first.
Okay. Yeah.
मैम एक्चुअली वो हर बार रह जाता है.
हाँ मैं इसलिए बोल रही हूँ, कोई बात नहीं, क्योंकि ये तो आप 5 मिनट में कर लोगे. This is
Yes, ma'am.
really doable in that small time. So let me just do that. And if anybody will have any point to say in that you have changed your mind, you want to work on a different problem, so you can let me know, right? Okay. So I have made the groups. I will let you know. You're free to tell me your changes. Because some people have opted for more than one choice, so obviously I have to put them into the one category only. So still you can put up your views for that. Okay, so the first group I have is Rishabh Malhotra. Is Rishabh here?
Oh yes, ma'am.
Samriddhi is here. Let me check.
Yes, ma'am.
And Guneet Singh.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so you had a common choice of, you three had a common choice of stochastic optimization. So will that be fine?
Ma'am, it's fine by me.
Rishabh, Samriddhi, and Guneet. So I'm putting you in one group, and you'll be working on some problem of stochastic optimization. Now, what exactly the problem is going to be? So I can individually help each group in mentoring on that. If you will be figuring out your own problem, then I can help you. But if somebody will be facing any difficulty, कि हमें problem ही नहीं पता चल रहा है exactly क्या काम करें, हमें बस interest है इसमें, so I can help you in that. To each and every group, I can provide the guidance. So right now it's just about formation of groups and the broad area on which you will be working. So is that fine, Guneet?
Yes, ma'am.
Samriddhi?
Ma'am,
Yes.
just wanted to ask, is there anyone who will be interested in modeling of in mathematical modeling and biology? Actually, I had written it as a part of it, so just wanted to know. Otherwise, I'm fine with this as well.
Yeah, so anybody can tell. अच्छा चलो हमने last time भी मैंने option दिया था, but no one turned out in that sense. So okay, right now I'll be just putting you in this category. We can see
Yeah,
if any problem.
fine
Because
with
अभी
me.
तक और किसी ने कुछ बताया नहीं है, so I'll just assume nobody else. Means I have definitely a problem for biological transport, but then it will be like you solely will be working on that. So
Ma'am, it's fine with me. No issues. Yeah.
it's fine, this stochastic
Y-
optimization.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Sure.
Okay. Okay, so you just, I'll share this list also with you on the LMS, that what tentative topics has been decided, or then from there only also you can read and confirm your groups. So Rishabh, Samriddhi and Guneet are done. Then we have Saurabh. Saurabh Kumar is here.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
yes, Saurabh. Ankit Goyal. We have somebody, Ankit. Ankit है हमारी क्लास में कोई? I think I got confused with that. Wait a minute. Manan Gupta is here. Manan Gupta.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Manan, Saurabh and मैंने actually short form में लिखा था. I'm not able to read whether this is Ankit Goyal. I think we have a student, but right now he is not present here. So I have put you three in a group, and you'll be working on this some model of vehicular traffic.
Ma'am, may I discuss something, ma'am?
Yes, Saurabh.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes,
मैम
Saurabh.
एक्चुअली मैम मैंने मैम मतलब साथ में ही वो भरा था ट्रैफिक एंड फाइनेंशियल वाला, तो मैम हमने मतलब डिस्कस कर रहे थे कि हमें क्या करना चाहिए, तो मैम हमारा मैम ज्यादा इंटरेस्ट उसमें था मैम, फाइनेंशियल वाले में।
इससे रिलेटेड जो पोर्टफोलियो ऑप्टिमाइजेशन था।
Yes, ma'am.
Both of you,
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Manan and Saurabh, right?
Yes, ma'am. So मैम आप उनका भी चेक कर लो, वो जो साथ में थर्ड पर्सन है, तो अगर उनका भी सेम इंटरेस्ट है तो हम तीनों उसमें करेंगे, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं होगी।
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. ठीक है. So you people are suggesting me. मैं लिख लेती हूँ एक बारी, then I will see the another formation. Manan Gupta and Saurabh, right? You are interested
Yes.
in this. So you will be
Yeah.
portfolio optimization, right? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Fine. So let's just take a look at that later. Ishangi, Nupur. Nupur is here. Nupur is not here. Only Ishangi is here, and Rishabh. Is Rishabh here? Not everybody is attending. Okay, so Ishangi, you had also filled 2-3 options, right?
Yes, ma'am, I did fill 2-3 options, but ma'am, initially we did not decide if we were going to, like, you did not tell us that can't make our groups, etc. So Ronak, I were discussing, and we wanted to do the project together. And ma'am,
Okay,
even
no problem with that. And
Anikate, ma'am, he also wanted to do it with us. So if we are making a group of 3, then we 3 will be good to go. If it's like okay with you.
yeah, it's pretty much okay with me. What is, you have selected your topic?
Yes, ma'am. The topic is financial, ma'am, mostly. Ma'am, Ronak is not here. Actually, he can explain it better, but I can try.
Okay,
Actually,
so Aniket is here. Aniket is here. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Aniket Jindal, right? So you three will be working together. Ishangi
yes, ma'am.
is the same Aniket you were talking about, na?
Yes, ma'am.
We have
Aniket
only
Jindal.
one Aniket in our class. Yeah, fine. So okay, that's okay. Tentatively, we have decided. So the group is okay, but you later on can be more precise on your particular problem which you will be working on. Okay.
Sure, ma'am.
Okay. So fine. Then what else? So Aniket is also not here. Who else is there? Yeah, Prakhar. Is Prakhar here? Puneet, Franjal, none of them is here, so I'll just leave that. Ravinder. Ravinder is here. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Sumit.
Yes, ma'am.
And we have the third person, Bahubal. Bahubal is here or not? No, he's not here. So Ravinder and Sumit and Bahubal, you had opted for financial, na?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
So along with you two, so I have put this person Bahubal. He's not here right now, but if you have any preferences, you can let me know, because अब हम discuss कर ही रहे हैं, तो I can take your points as well.
I'm okay with financial.
Okay, so anybody who else was interested in finance, who is left? Actually, मेरा सर गड़बड़ा रहा है. Anybody here who is left? Abhinav Garg, Gursimran Singh, right?
Yes, ma'am.
या मैंने आपको अच्छा पहले रौनक के साथ डाला था. रौनक is has now moved. So you two also had selected for financial, or you had some other choice? I think you had some multiple choices. So is it still the same?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So and we have Gurkamal Singh is here. No, it's not here. Vanshdeep is also not here. So because at least अभी कुछ group तो हम final करेंगे. Gursimran, you want to say something?
मैम ऐसे तो ऐसे कुछ है नहीं बताने के लिए. मतलब फाइनेंशियल लाइन है, ट्रेडिंग के ऊपर या उसके रिलेटेड करना चाहता था प्रोजेक्ट.
Okay, actually trading is more like उसमें आप maths, क्योंकि mathematical model उसमें करना is like a big task. Most of the maths is वहाँ पे जो चीजें होती हैं, fundamental analysis है, technical analysis है. I don't know whether you're familiar with the sentimental analysis of the trading. So there are problems there जिनको mathematically study कर सकते हैं, but it yeah means वो आपके interest के ऊपर है. I can tell you the problems there. Means वो execute कैसे होगा वो देखना पड़ेगा, but I can tell you few problems there. So anyways, right now we are just deciding on that. So Gursimran, Abhinav, you two are there, so I have to put a third person along with you. And say we just now had this Sumit and Ravinder, right? जिनका group हो गया है, they can start doing this program which I have just shared with you. Sumit, is Sumit here?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Sumit. So Saurabh and Manan, you opted for this portfolio optimization.
Yes, ma'am.
So, but I need to put a third person with you now. So, will Sumit, will you fit into that group? Will you fit into with Saurabh and Manan?
What is the topic, ma'am?
Means
Portfolio optimization.
It's related with financial mathematics only, because you if you have a specific problem in your mind related to financial maths, then you can tell me. Otherwise you can start working with them if you do not have, because they have already the problem with them. Because actually I'm working on making a groups of 3, so at least the persons who are present there. Or you want to stick?
Okay.
uh,
Yeah, ma'am. I can firstly understand that model means what they are trying to do.
Means what you can do, you can interact among yourselves, then you can let me know if that works for you or not. Tentatively,
Ma'am,
yes, Saurabh.
ma'am, actually, ma'am, जो हमने टॉपिक पिक किया ना पोर्टफोलियो ऑप्टिमाइजेशन, मैम उसकी ना थोड़ी सी डेप्थ आपसे पूछनी भी थी मैम हमने. तो ना मतलब एक तरह से एज अ हेल्प
वो I'll do see I'll guide each one of you कि हम फिर individual problems पे discussion करेंगे कि to what extent we can do that. ऐसे ज़रूरी नहीं हम
Yes.
पूरी problem solve कर पाए, but we'll do that. Don't worry about that. Okay, so right now I'm putting Sumit, Saurav, and Manan in one group. In case you have any problem, then only you can let me know. Otherwise, I think that's fine. Is that okay? Ronak is here. What's the time? Manan, you are saying something?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So, okay. So Sumit, Saurabh, and Manan, and we had the other person, Gursimran, Abhinav. You two are in one group. So Ravinder, I'm putting you along with the Gursimran and Abhinav.
Okay, ma'am.
That was very low. Okay.
Ma'am,
I
because
not happy.
I don't know either of them, so I
It's
can't
okay.
decide. So,
After doing this project, you will get to know them. That's okay. You'll be working in a place you will not be knowing anybody, right?
yeah.
Yeah. So, Ravinder, okay. Okay, so you three are also for the topic financial maths, and fine. That's anybody who's left, who is present here, has not been allocated into any of the groups. I think all are done. Rest of the people who have given their choices to me and they are not present today, so I'll discuss. Means I'll group assign the groups to them by myself. Okay, so next week we'll have the means this week you explore the topics which you have decided, discuss among yourselves in your groups, and finalize a particular problem, like in financial what exactly you want to do, right? So and then in the next lab we'll have a discussion on this thing, that okay, whether the problem which you have chosen is relevant, or is it doable or something like that, or anything. I'll guide you on the how to find the research papers related to that. And even before that, if anybody finalizes it, say till by Monday or Tuesday, okay, I'll give you the time rather. Today is what? Friday. So till Wednesday, you fix your particular problem on which you want to work on. Like somebody said, we want to work on portfolio optimization. Then portfolio optimization, exactly what you want to do, or कुछ भी उसमें थोड़ा सा और precise problem आपको decide करना है. By Wednesday, all of you email me your choices. I'll share a spreadsheet with you, and there you can tentatively write your choices, and then so that when we meet in the lab in the next week, then I can have a discussion on that. I can provide you with the literature on each of the problems, and feel free to ask in between also. ऐसा नहीं है कि week में कभी भी और आपको कुछ भी doubt है तो आप पूछ सकते हो. I'll share these details, the groups which we have formed, and 2 or 3 people are there who have not filled any choice. So I'm not considering them right now, but we'll see what to do with that. So is that fine with everyone? So you go ahead with your today's code which you have to make. This is about this random number generator. So it will not take much time. Just do this and save your outputs. Because इसमें कुछ ग्राफ नहीं ड्रॉ होगा, कुछ प्लॉट करने के लिए नहीं है. It's just the numbers only. So we just need to have the outputs, right? अब okay, अब 100 numbers तो नहीं लिख सकते हो output पे, but you can write the periods. You can write first 6 to 7 numbers which you are getting in your pattern, right? आप पूरे मैंने 100 नंबर्स जनरेट करने को बोला है, आप आउटपुट फाइल में जब इसको लिखोगे, so there you can't write all the numbers, obviously the complete pattern. So write first 6 to 7 numbers which you are getting and then the period of that generator. So that is what you have to write as an output of each question.
मैम इसमें मैटलैब में कोई मोशन है, मोड के लिए कोई फंक्शन परसेंटेज कुछ यूज करते हैं इसमें?
अच्छा, मॉड के लिए तो शायद मॉड ही चल जाता है, बट REM है, REM.
Can you repeat this one?
This command, remainder. Let me just write here. REM. I think it works like that. REM 5,2 means जब आपको 5 को 2 से divide करना है and you want to see what is the remainder, so this is REM. So this will be your number which you want to divide with m. So actually this is xn plus 1. So xn plus 1 you want to divide with m. So this is your remainder, right? But इसमें means this is your calculation. This is how it is working. Mod भी शायद use हो जाता है, but I think REM is also a command. You try in MATLAB. अभी मेरा MATLAB open नहीं है.
Okay.
I would have tested, but REM works, I know.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, एक बार आप formula for computing the period, can you explain it again? What exactly was period?
Okay, I will let you know. Just in a moment. Yeah. So yeah, this was the period. That means if you start seeing the repetition, like say 1, whatever be the
Okay, ma'am.
pattern, then period is the number of distinct random numbers which you are getting, and after that it starts repeating. Like 4 numbers है ना जो लगा रहे हैं, उसके बाद after every 4 numbers it is repeating, so the period is 4. So actually जब वो generate हो जाएगा sequence आपके पास, तो आपको कुछ testing conditions लगानी पड़ेंगी कि अगर मान लो 5th number, हाँ, तो you have to have a variable like that. And obviously if conditions use होंगे इसमें period computation में, कि जैसे रिपीट होता है वो आपको कुछ बता दे और फिर वो काउंट कर ले कि एग्जैक्टली कैसे वो है. समथिंग कोई काउंटर लगाना पड़ेगा आपको, समथिंग लाइक दैट. थिंक अबाउट इट, हो जाएगा, इजी है वो. ट्राई करो क्योंकि यही वाला पार्ट है, बाकी तो आपका आइटरेटिव आपको बस लिखना ही है उसमें.
प्रॉब्लम दिखा दो.
1 मिनट बस. मॉड भी चल रहा है उसमें, रिमाइंडर भी चल रहा है और मॉड भी चल रहा है. आई हैव टेस्टेड, बट द वे इट इज वर्किंग इज the thing which I have told you. 1 minute. Share screen. Yeah, here it was.
मैम पहले वाला पार्ट कर लिया, शो करूँ आपको?
हाँ नहीं, आप कर लो, फिनिश कर लो अभी, बाकी फिर बाकी सब लोग भी कर रहे हैं अभी, बाद में हम देखते हैं सबके आउटपुट्स. यू जस्ट कंटिन्यू विद द अदर पार्ट ऑल्सो. एक मिनट
मैंने भी
बस.
कर दिया फर्स्ट पार्ट.
हाँ, सो यू कैन गो टू द नेक्स्ट पार्ट. एक मिनट में स्क्रीन शेयर कर रही हूँ आपको. जस्ट लुकिंग फॉर एन ऑप्शन. शेयर स्क्रीन. Because I have to simultaneously work on that. Okay, so is this visible? The problems are still visible, right? Because somebody of you joined late, or if you had doubts in this, any understanding, so I'm just repeating for the sake of clarity. And if anybody has done it, so they can continue doing it. Yeah, so if anybody did not understand what we have exactly to do, so I'm repeating. So you need to generate random numbers, and obviously you have to generate it through an iterative formula. So you'll be using a for loop for that. So say 1 to n be 100 or 1000 jitne numbers bhi aapko generate karne hain. And here you just simply need to write the formula xn plus 1. तो whatever ये आपकी choice है, आप उसको कैसे लिखते हो, ये theoretically लिखने का तरीका है, is axn plus b. So this is your iterative formula which we'll be using. यहाँ पे मैंने इसको theoretical वाले way में लिखा है, but in MATLAB it will be written in the form of other way, because how the mod command works here. So that's it. This much part only you just keep on executing, और इसके execution के लिए आपको a, b और m as input देने पड़ेंगे ऊपर, a का value, b और m का value और x1 का value, because when I will start from 1, so it will compute the second number, so the first you have to supply. So these 4 will be your input things, and then you just iterate in this loop, get the 100 numbers and write them as your outputs. And then you have to compute the periods. Periods means then by looking at, first observation is by looking at the numbers, like if the numbers turn out to be 1357, 1357. So आप डिस्प्ले करोगे, जब उनको देखोगे तो वहां से आपको पीरियड मिलेगा कि ओके पीरियड इज 4, बिकॉज आफ्टर एवरी 4 नंबर्स दे आर रिपीटिंग, राइट. 1 2 3 4 4 डिस्टिंक्ट नंबर्स हैं, उसके बाद रिपीट हो रहा है. बट व्हाट आई एम ट्राइंग टू से, आपको ऐसे देख के नहीं पीरियड निकालना, बिकॉज समटाइम्स द पीरियड्स विल बी वेरी वेरी लार्ज. तो बाय ऑब्जर्वेशन वी कैन नॉट रिलाई ऑन द मेथड ऑफ ऑब्जर्वेशन कि हम पीरियड एग्जैक्टली कैसे मेजर करेंगे. देयर शुड बी अ फॉर्मूला फॉर डूइंग दैट. So after this generation, in your code, something should be there for the period calculation. तो वो आपको sequence generate करने के बाद, या जैसे भी आपको सही लगता है आप कैसे उसको incorporate कर सकते हो. So that is the way you have to think about it कि okay, how do I incorporate a command for identifying the periods. क्योंकि 2 question है, पहले तो ये pattern periodic है भी कि नहीं. तो आप एक ऐसा कमांड यूज करोगे विच विल बी समथिंग लाइक, अगर पीरियोडिक होगा तो वो आपको पीरियड बता दे कितना है, अगर नहीं है पीरियोडिक तो वो कुछ भी डिस्प्ले नहीं करे, या फिर या whatever. So period will be in that case 0, actually not defined. So if it is not periodic, so in that case you cannot compute the period. So that's the thing which you have to do for each and every part of it. And in A and C part specifically, आपको सीड का भी इफेक्ट देखना है कि अगर आप सीड को चेंज करते हो, जैसे जो x1 का वैल्यू मैंने यहाँ पे बोला है, इसको चेंज करते हो तो व्हाट इज द आउटपुट डिफरेंस. तो दोनों केसेस में क्या पीरियड इफेक्ट होगा क्या नहीं होगा, अगर होगा तो क्या है, तो वो आपको सब यहाँ पे लिखना है. तो फर्स्ट पार्ट के लिए अभी आप अगर पीरियड कैलकुलेशन somebody is finding it difficult to do that, which otherwise is not, then at least you can focus on the first part and by observation you can identify the periods and then you start writing a code for it. But otherwise this is what I want. You should be writing it a general way of computing the period. Just finish this up because next time we will be doing this another program which will be on Monte Carlo simulation. उसमें हमें ये यूज नहीं करना है because as I told you हम MATLAB की डायरेक्ट कमांड्स ही यूज करेंगे रैंडम नंबर जनरेशन के लिए. ये तो सिर्फ हमें बस एक बेसिक एल्गोरिदम समझने का तरीका है और पीरियड्स की अंडरस्टैंडिंग के लिए. अदरवाइज हम डायरेक्ट कमांड यूज करेंगे. Okay, so anybody wants to share screen or ask anything? You can ask.
मैम मैं शेयर स्क्रीन करके दिखा दूँ वो कोड
Yes. A minute, I will just change the settings.
हेलो अच्छा Can you see the screen?
Yes, I can.
Yes, ma'am. I tried the fourth or third part or the fourth part. Can you like? I don't remember. It was 9806 B one and this
That's
one. I
okay.
this one. Yeah, ma'am. It was like in this one, the result was coming out to be 37911.
Yeah, the
I'll show
first
you.
case. The first case. Yeah.
Yeah, ma'am. I'll just show the normal one. A was 5, B was 0, 5, and yeah, this was 1. And this is the first part, right?
Yeah.
So this is a result. Result is the actually the period. This is the period
Okay.
variable.
So I'll just first of all point out one thing, that x, you have taken x as zeros. It's a matrix. Okay.
Ma'am, I
Okay.
just yeah,
I
ma'am.
got it.
Actually, I had to use the vector. I just
I
just
got
to
it.
yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. That's just the notation, but otherwise it's a vector only. It's a row vector
Yeah,
you
ma'am.
have considered, column vector basically. That's okay. I mean, simply you could use, uh, yeah, it's a vector, but do we need to write it like that? X1 comma 1. Even if you write x1, will it take because x on this side is, yeah, it's a vector. If you look at it in workspace, it has to be a vector only. 1000 cross 1, right? Capital N is 1000.
1, yes, ma'am. Actually, I don't know. It was
So even if you just write x1, not 1 comma 1, so it will be mean the
vector only, yes, ma'am.
same thing, right?
Yeah.
So ऐसे हमें पता है कि ये
Yes, ma'am.
मैट्रिक्स की फॉर्म में है,
1000
but we know the second index is
I'll
also 1. Means you can just
yes, ma'am.
means that's optional. You
Yes, ma'am. I'll try it this. Okay.
Yeah, so you're just computing that if first one is same as the ith one,
Yes,
then
ma'am.
you are saying. But one thing I would like to say, sometimes what happens कि जो pattern है वो बीच में से repeat होना start होता है. It's not always कि starting वाले से ही match करे. जो
Okay.
जिसमें तो हाँ, तुम it should be more general than that.
Okay,
Uh,
ma'am.
it might be working for these examples, but in general ऐसा नहीं होता है कि हमेशा फर्स्ट वाले नंबर से रेपिटेशन स्टार्ट हो सकता है पहले 2-3 नंबर्स रैंडम हो उसके बाद कोई पैटर्न बनना शुरू हो जाए. So actually it should be if the jth one is equal to the ith one, so you need to have another index there for j.
वो मैम लाइक मल्टीपल लूप करके दूंगा.
हाँ तो वो
तो
पीरियड
उसमें हो
की
जाएगा.
कंप्यूटेशन के लिए एक अलग से बीच में एक फॉर लूप लगेगा.
यस मैम, फॉर लूप से हो जाएगा वो. ओके मैम, I'll do
Rest
that.
all is fine, and this eighth one should be eighth line.
Yes ma'am.
It's just a scalar. You don't need to write dot. So it's 2 raised to power 5 only. वो होता है अगर आप वेक्टर का raised to power करना हो तब हम करते हैं. ये तो नंबर ही है. So it's dot is not required. It's simply
Yes, actually when I used 2 power 17, I was doing I don't know why it was showing some kind of error. So what
you can try removing the dot and putting 2 raised to power 17. It will work.
I don't know. It might have been some different error, I guess. Yeah. So different. I'll now check it from between. It might be that it is repeating. Okay, I'll do that.
ठीक है. Okay. Thank you.
हाँ मेरा एक बार देख.
हाँ sure you can share. अच्छा.
दिख रहा है?
हाँ I can see that. Yeah, this is fine. n अच्छा 10 raised to power 5 लिया है, m 2 raised to power 5 लिया है. ठीक है. या आप डिस्प्ले करा रहे हो और for these 1 to c if x c plus 1. Yeah, so when c will be 1 it will be just 1, when c will be 2. Okay.
हम पीछे वाली सारी वैल्यूज चेक करें, जैसे ही
हाँ,
हमें कोई मैच मिलेगा तो हम कह देंगे कि वो रिपीट हो गया हमारा.
हाँ बिकॉज एक भी मैच कर गया क्योंकि वो पता है कि सेम फॉर्मूला में सब्स्टिट्यूट होना है तो वो रिपीट होना शुरू हो जाएगा उसके बाद पैटर्न. तो c+1 के लिए वो 1 to c के साथ जो है चेक कर रहा है. d. That's fine. This return command, what's the function of this return command?
मैम जैसे क्योंकि अब पूरा कैलकुलेट नहीं करेंगे तो हमें बस इतना ही पता लगाना है कि हमें पीरियड कहाँ मिलेगा. तो जैसे हमें पता चल गया हमें यहाँ पीरियड मिल रहा है तो वो रिटर्न कर जाएगा ना वहाँ पे. मतलब फिर सब कुछ फॉर लूप खत्म हो जाएगा.
ओके. ब्रेक कमांड भी होता है ना. ओके. आई हैव नॉट यूज्ड एक्चुअली द रिटर्न कमांड. तो
मैं तो इंटरनेट पे सर्च किया था कि कोई ऐसी कमांड होती है क्या.
नहीं, एक ब्रेक तो होता है. तो ब्रेक कमांड जो होता है वो आपको इमीडिएट वाला जो फॉर लूप होता है जैसे उससे एग्जिट कराता है. आई डोंट नो अबाउट, बट हमें यहाँ पे भी सेम ही करना है. हमें सिर्फ इसी लूप से बाहर निकलना है. मेन लूप तो हमारा चलता ही रहेगा फॉर सीज 1 to n वाला. वो तो आपको क्योंकि आपने उसी के अंदर लगाया ना तो वो तो पूरी कैलकुलेशन होता रहेगा. बट फॉर एवरी टाइम इट हैज टू मींस यू कैन मेक अ सेपरेट लूप आल्सो फॉर दैट. इससे क्या होगा कि वो कंप्यूट कर रहा है अभी तो वो हर बार कंप्यूट करेगा. मींस अगर एक बार आपने ब्रेक करा भी दिया उसको अब फिर से वो नया नंबर जनरेट करेगा ना बिकॉज आपका मेन लूप में ही है.
ये वाला रिटर्न जब कॉल होगा तो ये दोनों फॉर लूप से बाहर चले जाता है.
अच्छा, दोनों फॉर लूप से बाहर निकल आता है. बट ऐसे फिर आपका वो मेन फॉर लूप भी एग्जिट हो जाएगा ना. आपके फिर 1000 नंबर जनरेट हो जाएंगे.
निकलवाना है ना मैम कि हमें कितना पीरियड है. अब तो वो तो सारे नंबर वो उतने पीरियड पे ही रिपीट होते रहेंगे तो फिर
ओके दैट्स फाइन. हाँ दैट्स द पॉइंट. ठीक है, आप वैसे कर रहे हो उसको. इट्स फाइन, इट्स ओके. तो ये आपका पहले केस में क्या आंसर्स आ रहे हैं? we can match the answers. Period is 8 in the first case, first A part. Okay, we can match with others, those who are getting. You can stop sharing.
मैम जो पीरियड है वो जैसे रिपीट भी हो सकता है उसमें, जैसे 1 1 2 हो सकता है पीरियड।
हाँ हाँ, वो कोई बात नहीं है, वो पैटर्न पूरा जो है वो नहीं, 1 1 2 तो होगा नहीं ना, क्योंकि अगर 1 से 1 जनरेट हो रहा है एक स्टेप में तो अगले स्टेप में भी 1 से 1 ही जनरेट होगा ना, 1 1 2 तो होगा नहीं कभी भी, क्योंकि फॉर्मूला ऐसा है
नहीं
ना
मैं
कि xn से xn+1 निकल रहा है, तो एक बार ही 1 से 1 आ गया तो 1 से 1 ही आएगा हमेशा फिर।
मतलब एक पीरियड में नंबर कोई भी मतलब रिपीट नहीं हो सकता।
हाँ नहीं होंगे ना, क्योंकि जैसे रिपीट एक बार रिपीट आया फिर पूरा पैटर्न रिपीट होगा वो, क्योंकि दैट्स हाउ इट इज वर्किंग। 1 से 1 अगर आया है तो 1 से 1 ही आएगा, तो 1 से 2 आया है, 2 से 4 आया है, फिर 4 से 1 आ गया तो फिर से 1 से 2, 2 से 4, 4 से 1, तो द पैटर्न विल कीप ऑन रिपीटिंग। आप ऐसे करो, अभी कमांड लगाने का मत सोचो, उसको सिर्फ डिस्प्ले करा के देखो कि पैटर्न्स कैसे बन रहे हैं और कैसे रिपीट हो रहा है।
ओके मैम। मैम और पीरियड हम सीमाइज की करना, मतलब ज्यादा क्यों लेना चाहते हैं,
हाँ,
लार्जेस्ट
क्योंकि
पीरियड?
क्योंकि यू विल सी ये रैंडम नंबर की जो एप्लीकेशंस हैं, रैंडम नंबर की एप्लीकेशंस हैं हमारे पास, उसमें जो हम एक तो आपको नेक्स्ट टाइम ही पता चल जाएगा जब मॉन्टे कार्लो सिमुलेशंस करेंगे या फिर किसी भी तरह का जो स्टोकेस्टिक प्रोसेस की मॉडलिंग करते हैं या सिमुलेशन करते हैं, तो उनमें प्रोबेबिलिटीज जो हैं वो रैंडम नंबर से कनेक्टेड होती हैं, ये हम नेक्स्ट टाइम डिस्कस करेंगे। तो जब भी कोई प्रोसेस को आपको स्टोकेस्टिकली देखना है थ्रू सिमुलेशन, तो उसको हम अब क्योंकि एक रैंडम चीज है तो हम श्योर होने के लिए उस एक्सपेरिमेंट को 1000 10,000 टाइम्स रिपीट करते हैं, क्योंकि उसके बाद जो एवरेज आना शुरू होता है फिर वो रिलायबल होता है, राइट। आई विल गिव यू अ सिंपल एग्जांपल। आप कॉइन टॉस करो, दिस इज फॉर एवरीबॉडी, वी कैन अंडरस्टैंड, दिस विल फॉर्म द बेस ऑफ द नेक्स्ट क्लास। If you toss a coin, say 2 times, what is the most likely output you will get? एक कॉइन को 2 बार टॉस करो आप and note the output. What is the cases? What are the cases? Give me any any
एच टी
answer.
H
टी
T
टी
T
एच
H
एच।
H H
ये
T T.
दोनों हेड्स भी हो सकते हैं, सपोज दोनों हेड्स आ गए, राइट। तो अब 2 ऑब्जर्वेशंस के बेस पे आपने तो प्रोबेबिलिटी निकाल दी कि हर बार हेड ही आ रहा है, क्योंकि आपने तो 2 ही बार एक्सपेरिमेंट रिपीट किया ना। तो अगर आप वहां से कंक्लूजन विड्रॉ करोगे तो आप एक रॉन्ग कंक्लूजन विड्रॉ कर रहे हो कि नहीं, दोनों बार हेड आ रहा है, मीन्स हेड की प्रोबेबिलिटी जो है 1 हो गई। फिर आप उसको 4 बार करो, सपोज 4 में 3 बारी टेल आया और 1 बारी हेड आया, फिर आप कहोगे कि हाँ 3/4 टाइम्स जो है, 75% टाइम्स जो है टेल आता है और 25% टाइम्स हेड आता है। तो ये सारे रॉन्ग कंक्लूजन्स हैं, क्योंकि आप कंक्लूजन डिराइव कर रहे हो ऑन द बेस्ड ऑफ स्मॉल नंबर ऑफ एक्सपेरिमेंट्स। तो जो भी प्रोबेबिलिस्टिक इवेंट्स होते हैं, स्टोकेस्टिक इवेंट्स होते हैं, उनमें यू हैव टू रन द एक्सपेरिमेंट लाइक as large number of times so that you can draw a conclusion. जब आप कॉइन को 100 टाइम्स टॉस कर लोगे ना, तब शायद उसकी रेशियो ऐसे आनी शुरू होगी कि अच्छा 55 टाइम्स हेड आ गया और 45 टाइम्स टेल आ गया, फिर जो उनका रेशियो है इक्वल इक्वल आना शुरू होगा और वहां से आपको नजर आना शुरू हो गया ओके देयर प्रोबेबिलिटी इज नियर 2.5। तो जितना जितना यही हमारा नेक्स्ट एक्सपेरिमेंट है, जितना हम इसको ज्यादा बारी रन करेंगे उतना हमारे पास एक्यूरेसी आएगी जो भी हमें कंप्यूट कराना है। और क्योंकि उसको ज्यादा बारी रन करने के लिए हमें हर बार नया रैंडम नंबर चाहिए होता है, तो अगर आपका रैंडम नंबर एल्गोरिदम रिपीट करने लग जाएगा सो वो हमारा एक्सपेरिमेंट नहीं हो पाएगा। वी कांट एग्जीक्यूट इट with a new output every time, right? So that's why we need to have algorithms which should give you a different random number every time. तो अगर हमें 10⁹ टाइम्स भी उसको रन करना पड़े, like the thing which I do in my research, I have to execute the simulations for say 10⁻10 times. So I really cannot work with the algorithms which are giving me very small periods. So we should have a very good random number generator algorithm there. Only then your outputs are reliable. Otherwise output आएंगे but आपको पता नहीं चलेगा कि वो गलत क्यों आ रही हैं, या फिर कॉइन टॉसिंग का तो चलो हमें सबको आउटपुट पता है तो हम कंपेयर कर सकते हैं कि गलत आ रहा है कि सही, बट फॉर द एक्सपेरिमेंट्स फॉर विच आउटपुट्स आर नॉट नोन, so you may end up relying on the wrong output. So that's the whole purpose of the period should be high, as high as possible. yeah, so that's all for today. I'll see you next time. In theory lecture, we'll be doing something else, not this, because there is a small part of the theory which is left. Before starting on the stochastic version, we'll finish that theory first, and then we'll start with the stochastic part. But in lab, we'll continue with the Monte Carlo simulations, क्योंकि ये lab का ही part है. ये वैसे भी class में इसका सिर्फ कुछ टेक्निकल टर्म्स ये समझने के लिए, एग्जीक्यूशन इसका लैब में ही हो सकता है, एज आई जस्ट एक्सप्लेन यू कि एक एक्सपेरिमेंट को अब 10,000 बार रिपीट करना है, वो तो हम थ्योरी क्लास में नहीं कर सकते हैं ना, ये लैब का ही पार्ट है. Fine, and in the meanwhile, till Wednesday, the groups which have been formed, you keep on discussing among yourself and try to figure out a precise problem on which you will be working. And I'll be sharing a spreadsheet and you share the details there. And in between, if you have any doubt, you can ask me. Fine. So, okay. Enjoy your weekend. I'll see you next week.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.